Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far with the OpTic FaZe Modern Warfare 2 throwback tournament concluding. Definitely a fair bit to talk about there with the entertainment that was the last several hours, but also hackers that seem to be finally arriving to Call of Duty Vanguard. Definitely not ideal with this season not too far around the corner. Very much intrigued to get your thoughts in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new as always, I would greatly appreciate it. Really upset the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that. First of all, this from Revived Gamers and Nikos pointed out right here, so I'm kind of like a leaker for situations like this. We've been talking lately about what the third game mode could potentially be here for Call of Duty Vanguard, and yes, hardpoint search and destroy with any luck. But the third game mode very much up in the air. We know that Patrol is potentially going to be in there, but Control apparently also is returning. So if Control is in the game, then at least that's a nice backup option on a lot of these maps that we know is like a solid third game mode here in competitive play. Might not be the best, might not be the absolute number one, but of course people have their varying opinions on what that could potentially be. But still, as long as Control is in the game, we don't have to worry about potentially issues with Patrol that some of the pro players have been talking about and hinting at these last several days. This also from an angle I thought was interesting because a lot of people have their, their pros and cons on the game. I've been away, so I haven't quite got the opportunity to play it as of yet. But yeah, I've heard a lot of things, mixed reviews really of Vanguard as it is so far, which of course is pretty much expected. But yeah, Enigma isn't so keen on the visuals, the spawns, the audio, the movement, the slow animations, mounting map design. It's kind of that meme where it's like, yeah, this guy's a great player, but he needs to work on his, and he list off like the 15 things he needs to work on. But this is pretty much it. Headshot noise, satisfying gunfight, it's new ? Playtime equals feels better is maybe some of the positives, but yeah, not necessarily convinced this game is fantastic. And there's some interesting replies here. This firstly from Arcitys, you forgot the minus streaks on the negative fronts. This is the first game I just don't call in streaks, it's a waste of time. Which is definitely interesting in terms of the implications here for competitive play this year, because we know that streaks, well, I think are generally a good addition to competitive play. This title, it was good to see, because right at the start of Cold War, like I'm pretty sure they were all GA'd, and then finally they realized, okay, if we put these to certain like score streak levels, then we can actually have a decent time and make them work, which I guess, well, it was certainly good to see. In this title, if the streaks are kind of useless, like will the pros even use them? I think it does add an element of a skill gap, not just in terms of earning them, but also in terms of using them to good effect. So I think it's, well, hopefully they get this figured out, I suppose. Arcitys doesn't seem so convinced that it's moving on the right track right now. There was also this response as well from RJ, the Sloth Bear, right, coaching staff over at Atlanta FaZe, also where the red dots on the minimap, back on the compass where they belong to Dashy. So definitely some mixed reviews so far on this game. So let's talk then about this OpTic x FaZe Modern Warfare 2 throwback LAN showdown. I was really impressed by this, right, because OpTic v FaZe, or it's like OpTic FaZe collab type thing they did. I didn't really know that it was going to be this in-depth when it was first rumored. Like, I thought they might do some merch drops or something along those lines, but nothing like a crazy good tournament like this, to be honest, that they did. And as soon as I saw BoZe was on the OpTic team, and to be fair, the OpTic guys put up a fair few like former pro players, so they definitely maybe had an advantage coming in here. But, they had Hex, they had Hitch in there, and Hitch is a solid player for sure. But as soon as I saw BoZe, I was like, okay, this is chalked for the FaZe guys. BoZe is going to absolutely run things. And well, indeed, that pretty much is what happened. So this was the format for the tournament, if you guys missed it. It was like a Modern Warfare 2 LAN showdown. I don't believe there was like aim assist or anything on controllers. I'm not sure they could quite figure that out. But anyway, it was cool to see. 4v4 HQ, like headquarters, competitive sniping, then 6v6 search and destroy, then a 1v1 Rust tournament to finish it off. So it's Apex, Rain, Tempo, Adapt, Blaze, and Scope on the FaZe side, then Hex, Scump, Maniac, Hitch, Embos, and Formal on the OpTic gaming side. So pretty entertaining, right? And nice to see like off-season tournaments like this. And it was definitely good fun. So firstly, like Scump was absolutely dominating, right? This is pretty ridiculous. Hex has 8 kills. I think he said in reply like he had some controller issues right here. But yeah, I'll bring this up on the big screen, I guess, for you guys to enjoy. Scump has 70 kills, 30 deaths. I mean, the rest of the guys, apart from like Hitch, is kind of negative. Form was a bit positive, actually. Actually, they're all holding their own. But yeah, Scump 70 bombed, honestly, to win this one. Pretty ridiculous. And I think there was another map as well. I saw him drop like 67 or something, and Scoped also had 67, or Scope, sorry, had 67 on the other side. So this guy seems pretty nasty. But yeah, Scump was leading the pack, as he tends to do whatever game this guy tends to hop on. But yeah, there was also this 1v1 Rust tournament, right? So the idea was, I'm pretty sure, they'd play like a 6 1v1s, and then the first to like 4 wins in certain terms of certain teams would win the entire thing. And despite the video being kind of choppy right here, Formal has a pretty good time up against, I think it's Adapt. So of course, Adapt, I don't know about G's playing too much Call of Duty anymore, and Formal just retired from being a professional player this entire season, but he, well, makes quick work of him, let's just say that. And also it's Embos who does the same thing as well. I mean, I'm pretty sure he won also his 1v1 on Rust, but this was earlier than that 6v6 competitive sniping. He gets a 2-piece like collateral type thing right here on the early crosses, and then it finishes off the job with the sniper as well. So yeah, BoZe back in business. Certainly a very entertaining time, and hoping to see some more, throwback tournaments coming up this upcoming off-season. Modern Warfare 2 is always a fun one. Definitely a massive throwback, but it would be nice to see Black Ops 2 and some other games that usually Hitch manages to do a good job putting on. So it would be lovely to see stuff stuff like that going forwards. But yeah, this was certainly good times. OpTic versus FaZe doesn't get too much better than that in terms of Call of Duty history. But that's something which, of course, isn't on the necessarily positive side, is the hackers seemingly arriving in Vanguard right now. As Tom Henderson points out right here, hackers have started to appear in the Vanguard beta. I didn't really see any talk of hackers arriving in the beta until pretty much yesterday, and well, this is when everything started to come out. So definitely, this is like, okay, hang on a second, lads. Of course, like, the anti-cheat hasn't really arrived yet, especially in the beta. I don't understand what, like, you know, what makes people want to hack, like, in general, but also in the beta is just like, you know, come on, lads, like, get a life. But it is what it is. And now, of course, we're hoping that the anti-cheat in this title is actually going to be effective and it's going to work pretty well, because we know, well, supposedly an anti-cheat is arriving with the launch of this new title alongside the Warzone stuff, and we believe it's going to be a Warzone and multiplayer. I mean, it better be. But of course, this is a bit of a concern, right? Because a lot of pro players, and especially the amateur players, right, have been kind of wondering this last season that, okay, let's say they lose to a guy they've never really heard of before. Like, is that guy, is he cheating, right? Is he perfectly legit? It's tough to say, because new players as well, like new players who come into the scene that are really, really good, that are just incredibly talented, they all of a sudden, they're going to get called cheaters, right? And people are going to think that they're hacking at the game. And of course, that's not good for upcoming amateur players anyway, because a lot of the times we see players that maybe are perfectly legitimate, but are getting called out by professionals because, you know, they're just all of a sudden really, really good, and people are just wondering, okay, what's even going on there? But this guy, probably not just really good, and actually, well, he's used an aimbot, it's pretty blatant. But yeah, it causes so many issues with the scene, and we were really hoping, because like last October, that was all the discussion when the game first came out, so last October, November, you know, the hackers were just running rampant in the challenger scene and really causing issues with so many tournaments, and you know, hopefully this time that's not going to be the case, but still, there is some concern with hackers already arriving in the Call of Duty Vanguard beta, it seems. And I thought what was kind of funny actually as well, I mean, first of all, this is Modern Warzone, you can see this this image right here, and this guy, yeah, okay, it's pretty clear where the enemies are on the screen, so definitely some hacking going on. Hopefully the anti-cheat works effectively, so we don't get any of these players you know, ruining really the challenger scene, as they did, to be fair, a little bit in Cold War. It'll probably happen to some degree. Hopefully the anti-cheat is effective. We don't know how it'll be until well, the game does launch, I suppose, not too long from now. This then from Doug sent to Martin as well, that he said a while ago, anti-cheat, like, it's certainly something he wants to have. He's confident it'll be the best game of all time back in the middle of August right here, but anti-cheat clearly not doing anything yet here in the beta with the clips I have seen these last couple of days. This also from Octane, having a little V2 rocket for the timeline, because well, he actually had a nice little clip right here on that, what is this, Hotel Royale or whatever, I kind of forget, Royal maybe, I don't know how it's meant to be pronounced, but I kind of forget what all these maps tend to look like. Yeah, okay, I can see that the logo's up there, but yeah, Octane gets a nice little streak right there, V2 rocket, and one of the guys says in the background, like, oh my god, you're cheating for a nuke in the, you know, in the beta or whatever, which yeah, unfortunately, little to see, you know, he's actually a pretty good pro player, is Octane, recently announced, of course, to be joining the Los Angeles Thieves, but yeah, pretty entertaining nonetheless, and yeah, this game seems pretty good from some perspectives. I've seen a lot of mixed reviews on it. I saw Octane talking about like the sensitivities and how it seems kind of strange in this game, like he's almost playing on like 8.8 in this game. Always blew my mind how like Octane could manage to play on such a high sensitivity until we saw effective as a main assault rifle, but yeah, he plays on like 8.8, or at least the video I saw him put on YouTube yesterday, he was playing on 8.8 and still popping V2 rockets like it is absolutely nothing at all. And just to finish off with a couple of clips here from Crimsix, I thought this is, well, first of all, this is kind of hilarious. Crim's talking in this clip about he's not really sure about the whole the walls and the breakable windows and stuff like this, and yeah, the issues that they might cause for competitive play, but at the same time, he's pulling off clips like this. Well, I'm pretty sure this is the B40, when he, I don't know how he stays on the map right here in just a second, he drops up down low, gets a two-piece, and you know, he's starting to believe, says Morpheus, I don't know how he stayed on right here. People talk about Crimsix and some of these veterans not having the greatest movements. To be fair, he almost fell off the map, but that was pretty impressive, and this is what I thought was kind of funny. You can actually see right here, like on Crimsix's stream, most time I've seen people use this kind of flamethrower juggernaut type thing. You can see the, well, the black at the edges fills up the entire screen, but what he's got is kind of like a classic thing that some Call of Duty pros used to do, and clearly still do, where you make your like, I don't know, the width of your screen, you make the limits of your screen way smaller than your screen actually is, so that your minimap and everything comes way closer to the center than it could be. So effectively you have to look less far. That's the idea, that you have to look like less distance from the center up to the minimap rather than it being all the way in the corner. But it does mean you get this kind of weird effect when you're using this juggernaut thing. But yeah, Crimsix, I don't know how he gets 70 kills. I imagine this isn't going to be allowed in competitive play, but very much intrigued to your thoughts and all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. Really helps out the YouTube icon, and if you enjoyed this content, I hope like you may enjoy this content as well, and I've grown the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you much as always, take care, and I will see you next time.
We'll take it then. They're still spawning in there. They are. Bro, I get no aim assist through this window.
Atomic double kill.
Oh, this gun's. How cool is this? Bro, this guy will just sit right here.
Double kill. Triple
They serious?
kill. Fury kill. Hostile Goliath on the crawl. Insane.
Yo. This game was ridiculous, bro. Oh my god, little V2 rocket? Sure. Yo, chat, this game is ridiculous.
V2 coming in hot.
What the f is that? Let's go, baby! Yeah, let's go, baby!
Fuck, not a nuke?
You know the vibes?
Okay.
Control zone secured.
You know the vibes out here, Ken. It's a hashtag my year, brother.
Who the f got a nuke?
Easy.
Man,
Yo, give
man,
me
imagine
that,
cheating
bro.
for a nuke in a beta. Pathetic.
Control zone's up for grabs. Double kill. Triple kill.
Oh wait, never mind. That's kind of good.
Control zone is ours. Our pack is done. Lay out the patrol zone. Double kill. Triple kill.
Oh!
Fury kill.
Burn!
Double kill. Triple kill.
Burn!
Fury kill.
Burn!
Your field mic is scrapped. Triple kill.
What the f? What just happened? It's still on fire!
Double kill.
It's still on f***ing fire!
Lead out.
Oh my god!